Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are here at Oliver Motors in Baraboo. And I don't know, Jan, what do you think? Should we look at some cars later on in the show?
I'm happy with looking at this one right
Jump in a car, drive away in a car, something like that. We'll talk cars later on in the program. But first, we're going to talk about a Wisconsin company that I'm sure you're going to recognize the name of, Sprechers. And I'm joined now by Rodney Jaro, who is the Director of Franchise Development. How are you, Rodney?
Doing very well this morning. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, excellent. So, Sprechers is known as Wisconsin's family brew pub. Why is that?
We've actually trademarked the name. We're family owned and operated, and then the focus for our concept is if you're 1 or 100, you can find something fun at Sprecher.
1 or 100, okay.
Yeah, exactly, and everyone in between.
Yeah.
We have some great craft beers, but we thought, well, why should just mom and dad get to go out and enjoy craft beers for less than the cost of a babysitter? You can bring the kids along, and we have tons of sodas for them to try.
Yeah, that's a good point to taking the kids out with you, is that it's probably cheaper to have the kids eat.
Right,
especially if it's
right.
my kids, because they share a kids meal and then don't even finish that usually. So, but that's a good point.
Absolutely.
And you have craft root beers too, right?
Absolutely. We have about a dozen craft sodas, and you can make a float with any one of them.
That's awesome.
I was looking at your website. Yes, I definitely think of the root beer when I hear the name Sprechers.
Right.
And I thought that was interesting on your website. You refer to them as gourmet sodas.
Oh, yes, yes. They're certainly made a lot different than the way your mass-produced sodas are. Absolutely. A lot of flavor.
Do you use any of those in your recipes? Because you have a scratch kitchen, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We do. We use a number of the beers in there. We use our Black Bavarian beer when we're making our ribs. And then we use the Firelight for breading the beer batter for the fish, as well as for the brats, and then the beer cheese potatoes. And we make beer cheese soup with Hefeweiss. So a lot of beer going into the kitchen. We try to monitor it to make sure, you have to let the cooks have a little every now and then.
Right.
But for the most part, it goes into the recipes.
Yeah, twice as much beer is coming into the kitchen as what's going out.
Right.
What's going on with that?
Well, we have happy cooks.
We don't, yeah, right, exactly. So now, the restaurant Sprechers is affiliated with the Sprechers Brewery, but can you explain that relationship a little bit?
Right, it's just a handshake agreement that we help provide their products for all the Wisconsinites with our 5 locations, and then they help provide us with great sodas and beer. So there's no ownership between the two. We're a separately owned entity, as is Sprecher Brewery. That's owned by Randy Sprecher. We started it back in 1985.
So you guys are kind of just, you're essentially utilizing the Sprechers brand as a kind of a draw for customers, being a family-owned company and locally brewed products and things like that. So.
Absolutely. When we were ready to design the concept, we went to somebody who also had sodas, a nice line of sodas, so we could create a family-type environment.
Yeah. Very nice.
Well, I only knew Sprechers is the Madison location, which I just saw closed. I was very sad to see that. They had great patio heaters.
Yes. Yes.
But you mentioned you have 5 locations.
Yes,
Where
ma'am.
are these other locations?
We have one franchise up in Sheboygan that opened about 2 years ago in May, and then our newest location opened in November in Watertown. We have one in the Dells, one in Lake Geneva, and then one in Glendale. And we're just about to open our brand new concept in Columbus, Wisconsin, which is called Fast Lanes. It's 12 lanes of bowling, about 4,500 square feet of video arcade, like a Miss Pac-Man right here. But everything from the little kid types, the little games for them to ride, all the way up to the adult type video games that we'd want to play.
More importantly, how are the patio heaters?
Well, we're going to look at maybe having fire rings out there. We're just going to go straight to
Love
campground.
those.
Yeah.
Those are
Columbus
beautiful.
isn't too far from Madison, Janet, so you can get up there.
Not at all.
So you mentioned a few items that where they use the beer in the recipes and ribs and things like that. But what are some of the other unique items that are on the menu at Sprechers?
We have Scotch eggs, and I haven't seen those at a lot of places. That's a Johnsonville brat patty wrapped around a hard-boiled egg, panko breaded, then deep fried. And it comes with a little bit of kraut and some spicy mustard and root beer mustard, both of which come from Sprecher Brewery.
That sounds so Wisconsin.
It's really, really good. Yeah. And then a few schnitzel dishes. We make spätzle daily, so fresh spätzle and things like that.
Yeah. Can you say that first one again? Go over the ingredients. I want to hear that again.
That's a Johnsonville brat patty wrapped around a hard-boiled egg.
Wrapped around a hard-boiled egg.
Panko breaded, then deep fried.
Panko breaded, then deep fried.
It's a breakfast all in one right there.
That's like 3 breakfasts.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to wrap my mind around that, much the way the sausage patty wraps around the hard-boiled egg. But
well, come in and I'll buy you one.
There you go. All right, you're on.
Is that a popular item? Let's give a shout out to some of your most popular items.
The 2 things that we sell the most of, hands down, are cheese curds and pretzels. Because pretzels just go with beer, and cheese curds, well, it's Wisconsin, right?
Of course, right.
Outside of that, we do a great job with ribs, and we have an outstanding fish fry. It's called our old-fashioned fish fry. So you can come in and for 13 bucks, not only do you get the fish fry, a delicious plate of food, more than you need, but you also get a craft beer or a craft soda or an old-fashioned, just to kind of go along with the Wisconsin tradition.
Again, the old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So much good food there. You're family friendly. You have great local food. It's awesome. Other than this new concept in Columbus, which I'm excited to see, is there anything else new coming for Sprechers down the road?
We're hopeful to start opening them up as soon as we hit the ground running after Columbus.
Yeah,
So.
very cool.
Well, good luck with that
Yeah,
one.
thank you.
Well, thank you so much for Rodney Jairo. I got to make sure I said that
Yes.
right. Rodney Jairo, who is the Director of Franchise Development for Sprechers. Thank you so much for being with
Yeah,
us
thank
today.
you. Thanks for having me on.
Don't go away. There's more Wisconsin Family coming up after the break.